everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today I got a hold of a 2023 GMC Sierra 2500 heavy duty. This is an SLE model, so it's like one model up from the bottom. As with all of these trucks, you have so many different options. You have the Pro version, which is kind of GMC's work truck. You have the SLE, the SLT as you're going up in your packages. You have the AT4, which is the off-road package that GM offers. And then you have the Denali, which is your Luxo barge. And this thing's big, so barge is a fitting description. This model that I'm driving has a 6.6 liter gas V8. It's good for 404 horsepower and 464 pound-feet of torque. It is very thirsty. I drove it about 2 hours on the highway empty, and I was getting about 17 miles to the gallon at about 75 miles an hour. And then I hauled it with the trailer. This comes built in with the tow package. It has the trailer brakes on it. It has a tow mode ready to go, so you just plug it in. It's got the hitch on the back and an adjuster to adjust to a smaller size receiver hitch. On that same stretch of highway with a load of temporary fence on a car trailer, I was getting about 10 to 11 miles per gallon at a slower speed. So it is very thirsty with this model. It does have the option to get the Duramax diesel, which is about 401 horsepower. Hang on, I'm gonna forget. Which is about 445 horsepower, but it has 901 pound-feet of torque. So it's gonna have a lot more torque than the gas V8, and you're gonna get better miles per gallon in the diesel than you will with the gas motor. However, diesel is a lot more expensive right now. This being a GMC, it's kind of like the luxury version of the Chevy, the Silverado and the Silverado HD. So the interior is a little nicer. I'm driving an SLE model, so you have the Pro model, the SLE model, the SLT model, just going up in features. Your Pro model is kind of your work truck, and then you have the AT4, which is the off-road package, and then your top-of-the-line Luxo barge package, which is the Denali, if you really want to get all the nice fancy interior while you're hauling your camper and your boat to your weekend getaway, then you need the Denali. It does, the AT4 is an off-road package. It's not something that I'd go off-roading for fun because it's huge. It'd be too hard to take on any trails, but if you're on a farm or you use it as a work truck and you're on a work site, this version does have four-wheel drive. The AT4 has got different suspension on it, so it's got a little, you can get it with Rancho, I think, twin tube shocks. If you're into off-roading something that big, that is an option. I think four-wheel drive would be enough for the average person who's not driving on work sites or through a farm all the time. The interior is nicer on this than the Silverado I drove here a couple of months back, but that makes sense. It's a GMC and it is a higher level package. It is not the work truck model. So the one I'm driving is the 2500 HD. So it's not the full towing capacity. I didn't get anywhere close to that with the load that I was hauling with it, but it did handle very well on the highway with a 4-tire car hauler with a big tall stack of temporary fence. So it had a decent amount of weight, but not a huge amount. And it cruised fine right down the highway. Plenty of power to haul the load, but like I said, with the gas motor, it's really sucking down the gas. So let's get into a little bit more about the GMC Sierra 2500 HD. One thing I did notice when I was driving this on the highway, that there seems to be a little bit of play when you're at dead center in the steering wheel before it catches going either direction. And when you're hauling a trailer down the road in a windstorm, if you're not used to it, that can make you a little uncomfortable. And I was kind of surprised in a truck this new that was the issue, but it just seems to be a part of the design. A friend of mine has the 2500 Silverado Chevy, which is basically the exact same truck with a little bit less features on the inside, and his does the same thing. And when you've got the steering wheel at full lock and it's running, it does make a funny sound and noise. He said his does the same thing, and he bought his brand new as well. So I wasn't real happy with how the steering felt on the truck. I mean, understanding that it is a heavy duty truck, you know, you put up with some things that aren't as comfortable, like a stiffer suspension when you don't have a load. But that seems like something that could be fixed and would make it a lot more comfortable to drive if it was a little bit tighter steering. But that's just me. I do like to drive sports cars, so steering is very important in the feel, and this is a pickup truck. So just keep that in mind. But, you know, go test drive it yourself and see what you think. If you're accustomed to driving a full-size truck, I don't drive them like the heavy duties very often. I used to do it for work more. So I'm gotten a little more used to the steering in my Mini Cooper, which is very nice. So here's an example of the loose steering wheel. So I'm wiggling it back and forth that much, and it's, you know, it's moving a little bit, but not much. It's a little disconcerting sometimes. And, you know, to stay in your lane, you're kind of doing this. I mean, for a new truck, I find that a little surprising. So here's another weird thing, listen. That's weird. Steering wheel does it too. Those are some weird noises. So this truck is massively tall. I'm about 6 foot tall, and this is almost shoulder height to me. So when you get this hood up, I have to reach up on my tippy toes to pull the hood down. The engine's way back here, so it's going to be fun to work on. You can practically sit inside the engine bay when you got this hood open. One of the things that GMC has done is put in some steps here in the side of the bed, and you also have one on the back bumper, which makes it a lot easier to get up and reach into this behemoth. So GMC has now made one of these origami tailgates here. They call it the GMC Multi-Pro tailgate. So it does a bunch of things. You've got 2 buttons here. Of course, you've got your cameras in the back. The bottom button lowers your whole tailgate like a normal tailgate, right? Now, the other option is to push the top button, which brings down the top half of the tailgate, which you can use as a work surface. Or you can push this button in here, and it works as a load handler to help stuff from coming out of the truck. And then we can fold this back up, push this back up, push the bottom button, bring the whole tailgate down, and we can push the top button, and drop that down to have better access to the bed. Or you can push down this button, fold this down, and you now have a step to get into your truck bed. Heaven forbid you ever break this thing, because I'm sure it's very expensive to replace. Push the button back in, fold that up, fold this up, fold that up, and that's your GMC Origami Multi-Pro tailgate. Because if you have this, you can be a pro at multiple things, right? So these are what GMC calls your trailer mirrors. So you've got your standard mirror, and then you have this lower mirror that's got a wider angle view that you can see the back wheels of the trailer. I really liked these when I was hauling a trailer, because I can always see where my wheels are going to be without having to move my head around. So these are very helpful. Okay, here's where the GMC side comes. We get fancy wood accents in our truck, because you got the luxury truck now. Got your mirror controls and window controls. Over on the left side of your steering wheel, you turn this knob to the left to put it in trailer mode, and what that does is it sets your transmission to shift at a higher RPM, so you're in the power. And then you go to the right, that just says mode, and basically the options that gives me is normal mode or off-road mode. And then you have 2 high, that's how you put it on 4-wheel drive, 2 high, 4 low, and then your trailer light, or your this is your bed light. So your trailer controls are built right in, and then right here is your trailer brake controls. So this is to test your brakes, and then these adjust the strength or gain of your brakes, and it will tell you on the main screen what gain you have it set at. You've got a USB-C and a standard USB and a power port up here, and then a button to release your tailgate. You have a good sized touch screen on here. The truck does have OnStar. You can set it up with Wi-Fi. There is an option on the GMCs to call, it's like invisible trailer or something like that, and you can hook a camera to the back of your trailer, and the screen will split, and you'll see the camera on the tailgate, so you'll be able to see the trailer, and then you'll see out the back of the trailer to help you see around it. You can even set it up with that model. This one doesn't have that, to where you can hook up a camera inside your trailer, and on the back of the truck you'll have connections for all these cameras, so you can watch the load inside your trailer, which is a really cool feature if you're hauling things a lot. Let's say you have animals and you're hauling some horses, you'll be able to put a camera in the trailer to see how the horses are doing and see directly from the back of the trailer. Really cool feature. I like this, like, I don't know what this is, like a plastic that looks kind of like metal, and then the dash looks like real stitched leather. I don't know if it qualifies as real leather, but it looks like real stitched leather, which is nice. Have the center console, so you've got nice storage here, place for your phone, cup holders, and a place for various things. And then you move my glasses, and I got to keep that beard looking nice, so I got my beard brush. You can lift the seat up, or the armrest up, and you get a middle seat. Pull the little handle and pull it back down. You don't have to forgive the mess in the back of my truck, but I have been using it. Loads of space back here when you fold the seats up. One of the things I like about the GM products is you literally just yank on the seats and pull them down. You don't have to go hunting for something to pull or a button to push. They're just ready to go. They snap up and they stay when you pick them up, and then you just yank on them to pull them right down. Loads of room in here. I do sit kind of close to the front, maybe closer than the average person, but there's just as much room in the back, just about, as there is in the front. GMC does say that they have best-in-class headroom, legroom, and bed size. So if you're looking for more space, you might consider the GMC. There's our 6.6 liter V8 gas engine back there. You gotta have lots of room in there for that big diesel and the Allison, I guess, but there's tons of room in it right now.
Thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review of the 2023 GMC Sierra 25 HD. We'll see you next time for the next review. Have fun out there.